Testing, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. When you come on, make sure you let us know where you're coming in from, who you are. Hey guys, it's Light here. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Just say yes if you can hear me. Perfect. Can you see me? You can see me. Say okay in the chat. Awesome. Okay. Keep chiming in. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Just still getting situated over here. So guys, tell me, how did you find out about this or about me? Did you read my book, Bliss More? Do you follow the daily dose of inspiration? Do you meditate on your own? Just kind of chime in and let us know how you found out about this. We're going to get started in just a sec. Sean Stephen podcast. Fantastic, Lucy. Yeah, Gwen, Rebecca, Ellen, Willa, Jennifer, Petra, Swamini, Rich Roll. Love Rich Roll. Tanya, Micah, Howard Jacobson. Okay. 10% happier. Fantastic. What's up, Jesus from Tijuana? Vancouver in the house. Rich Roll. YouTube. Okay. Fantastic. You can't hear anything, Catherine? Is anyone else having any problems hearing anything? Email invitation today. Commune. Okay. Love commune. I have to tell Sean and Rich that they have a pretty big reach. Hearing is audio is okay. Can everyone hear? Yeah. Okay. So guys, we're going to go ahead and get started because we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, and I don't want to run too long here. So I'm calling this, I'm going to go ahead and come out of the video. I'm calling this the How to Do Less in Meditation and Accomplish More in Life workshop. Okay. This is for anyone and everyone who currently meditates or who has meditated in the past. This is also a workshop for new meditators and skeptical meditators, reluctant meditators, meditation haters, pretty much anyone who's curious about meditation. And I'm going to talk to you guys tonight or this morning, depending on where you are. I'm talking to you from London, so it's nighttime over here. We're going to talk about how to succeed in meditation without forcing it, without getting confused by all of the contradicting information out there. And for the more experienced meditators, you're going to see how to make your current practice even more efficient and how to create a more structured routine based on the best practices of other successful meditators. So my hope is that you come away from this webinar with more confidence and more clarity around meditation and with a practice that you enjoy. And I'll show you not just how meditation works, but how it can help all of you guys unlock your full potential and discover your life purpose. And I know these may sound like ambitious and lofty goals, but at the very least, I want to help you build a successful and rewarding meditation practice so that you can show up in your life in the biggest and most meaningful ways possible. And while having a rewarding meditation practice is one thing, I think it's more important to understand the real world benefits. I'm a big real world person. And so whether that means finding more purpose and connection with yourself or with others, or maybe you're looking to decrease your stress and anxiety, or maybe it's because you don't sleep very well at night and you don't know what it feels like to wake up in the morning energized and refreshed, or you just want to be able to think more clearly and have an outlet for the stress you accumulate from the day or from the week. In other words, this approach is about doing less in meditation so you can accomplish more in your life outside of the daily practice. How does that sound? And by the way, guys, feel free to chime in the chat. I've got a few things going on here. I'm looking at my bullet points of what I want to talk to you about, but I'm also glancing over at the chat so I can see who's saying what, and I'm looking at the slides to make sure that I'm on the right slide. So, but feel free to chat and chime as much as you want, and feedback is always good. Okay. So in this workshop, we're obviously online, and that comes with some challenges in terms of attention and engagement. And to get the most out of our time together, I invite you to exit out of all of the other windows in your browser that you may have open right now. And if you can, refrain from texting and obviously emailing and surfing the web, and just try to spend these next 60 minutes in an active, intentional learning mindset. How does that sound? Good? So I want to start by telling you a little bit about myself, for those of you who didn't read the book. like a lot of people who are new to meditation, I started off as a meditation skeptic. I'm actually still a meditation, oh, not a med- I'm still a skeptic in general, but I'm a skeptic when it comes to certain metaphysical practices, right? Like certain approaches to meditation and other kinds of practices. But I think my skepticism has actually helped me become a better meditation teacher over the years because I don't buy into or teach anything that I haven't experienced directly for myself. And like many of you guys, I started out trying a bunch of different meditation techniques. And like many of you, I did not have very many positive experiences. And as some of you read in the opening chapter of my book, my early days of meditation were very touch and go, right? I didn't feel that meditation was even remotely close to being a blissful experience, and I nearly gave up. So at that point, I was very fortunate to be introduced to a meditation teacher who taught me the mechanics and principles for meditating in a way that felt like the enjoyable, blissful practice I had always hoped that meditation would be. And that's what changed everything for me. So I started enthusiastically meditating every single day, and I started apprenticing my teacher for years. And eventually he invited me to India, where I spent over 1,000 hours over a few months, spending multiple 14 hours a day in meditation. And I was attempting to refine my own experiences in the practice and simultaneously learn how to properly teach others how to also enjoy meditation. It was literally like something out of the Karate Kid. And you didn't know why you were doing all that stuff you were doing, but you just trusted that it was going to help you become a better meditation teacher. And that's one of the benefits of having a teacher is you have someone who's been there before you to guide you, to show you the way, even when you don't know where you're going. So after India, I came back to Los Angeles with this newfound teaching skill, and I started teaching people out of my one-bedroom apartment in West Hollywood. And these were mostly everyday folks with busy lives and busy minds. And I was showing them how to meditate with ease and with enjoyment. And they were all starting to have the same experience that got me hooked after I studied with my teacher. It was so beautiful to witness people breaking through and experiencing real bliss on their own. And so since then, I've taught thousands of people in hundreds of workshops all over the world to meditate. And I still haven't met anyone who didn't get it, including a few people that you may have heard of before. I've even had the opportunity to work with royalty, as some of you guys may have heard, and a lot of people over here in London are asking me about that experience. I've also hosted trainings at corporations and facilitated international retreats. I've given talks, and of course, I have written books. My most recent book, Bliss More: How to Succeed in Meditation Without Really Trying, which some of you said you read. It has been called the premier nuts and bolts book on meditation, one of the best meditation books of all time, which is very, very kind of them to say. So I've had the honor to work with a lot of people, as you see, and I've seen people cure insomnia with meditation. They've come off medication with the help of a doctor, of course. I've had a couple guys reverse PTSD. They've quit dead-end jobs. I mean, you name it. And over all these years of teaching, I've discovered that the meditators who got the most from the practice had three specific advantages over all of the sort of do-it-yourself meditation dabblers. And I've distilled these three specific things down into a simple framework. And that's what I want to share with you today. I call it the meditation mastery triangle. And implementing it can help anyone move beyond the frustration and the confusion that I felt and that many of you guys have probably felt, at least initially, when attempting to forge your daily meditation practice. So the three pillars are technique, team, and teacher. Very simple. So let's break down each pillar and get into the nitty-gritty, right? When it comes to the technique, a lot of new meditators don't realize that all meditation is not created equally. And I'll show you why. Plus, we're going to talk about the real science behind meditation and stress release. And then I'll talk about my simple approach to meditation, which is the key to creating a consistent and self-sufficient practice, in my experience, without really trying and without having to depend on meditation apps, YouTube videos, etc., in order to meditate. Next, I want to talk about TEAM, which is actually an acronym. And in this section, you're going to learn the missing ingredient for success in meditation. I'll tell you about a fun and collaborative way to forge this practice into your life. And we'll cover an important principle that will benefit you in any endeavor you try to learn, called the exchange principle. And finally, we'll finish off with the third pillar of the meditation mastery triangle, which is teacher. How to let go of shoddy guesswork and overcome the most common meditation misconceptions that are rampant in today's world. So in the next 45 minutes or so, you're going to learn the details of each pillar. And when this is properly understood and practiced, it's going to allow you to cut through the confusion and the skepticism that we sometimes have around meditation and build a consistent practice that feels approachable and calming and blissful. How does that sound, guys? Please, again, chime in as much as you want. Give us feedback so I know you're still there. All right, you want to dive in? Let's talk about technique. So for the context of this webinar, there are two aspects of the technique that we need to understand, starting with the fundamentals, okay? This is important because there's a lot of information around meditation, mostly from people who teach meditation, but they've never received any formal training, and many of them don't even have a regular meditation practice themselves. So they say things like, let go of your negative thoughts, right? How many people have heard that one before? Well, how do you exactly let go of your negative thoughts? I mean, if it's as easy as just letting go of your thoughts by willing yourself to let go, then why isn't everybody doing this all the time? And secondly, how do you use your thoughts to let go of your thoughts? Am I the only one that's confused by this? Furthermore, meditation is a generic term, which means very different things to different people. For example, you have a ton of different approaches to meditation, all of which are legit depending on what your priorities are. Then you have what I would consider to be fad meditations that people just literally make up, right? Like 2-minute meditations and 30-second meditations, or the latest meditation apps and that require you to buy some sort of heart rate measuring thing in order for it to work. Even more, people who find it difficult to sit still will replace meditation with activities such as yoga and running and painting and knitting. I mean, you guys all have friends who've said, I don't sit down, but such and such is my meditation, right? But the most confusing is the misguided notion that there is no correct way to meditate, and that any meditative practice is just as beneficial as actually sitting down to meditate with your eyes closed. And this can lead to paralysis by analysis and prevent people from getting going with their practice. So here's the thing. While I believe that all meditations lead to the same goal, ultimately, anyone who's ever mastered a skill like swimming or even like just riding a bike knows that there are going to be best practices that are going to allow that skill to feel easier. And ignoring those best practices are going to do what? Cause it to feel harder. Imagine saying to 23-time gold medalist Michael Phelps that there's no correct way to swim. Well, he might think, not if you want to be any good at it, right? The point is, learning the best practices and having a structured approach is the only way to ensure reliable, verifiable results while sparing wasted time and confusion and self-doubt. And I'm pretty sure that you agree with me on that, right? So speaking of best practices, before we go further, we need to agree on a working definition for meditation so we're all on the same page with what we're talking about when we say meditation. So I define meditation as a comfortable, seated, and consistent eyes closed practice of experiencing present moment awareness and initiating the relaxation response. Again, it's important to understand the difference between meditation and meditative activities. So a meditative activity is an activity that helps you get into the zone where you're not really thinking about the past or the future, like running and basketball and knitting. But meditation is a tool for cultivating present moment awareness outside of activities. In other words, meditation can help you get into the zone easier, but merely getting into a zone during an activity won't have the same carryover effects. And that certainly doesn't mean that yoga and running and painting and visualizations and knitting are not beneficial. That's not what I'm saying. It just means that they're not the same thing as a seated, eyes closed meditation practice. And as you may have noticed, a key part of our definition is that it initiates the relaxation response, which is what science says is the relaxing effect that the seated meditation practice has on your mind and body. Most importantly, it's unique to meditation, which means you're not going to stumble upon the relaxation response while knitting or riding a bike or engaging in some other meditative activity. You must actually sit down with your eyes closed in order to experience it. The relaxation response is again what science says is the meditation effect, and I'm assuming that you're on this webinar because you want to get the most out of the time you spend meditating. So the relaxation response can be plainly defined as a physical state of deep rest that changes the physical and emotional responses to stress. It's essentially the opposite of the fight or flight response, which everyone's heard about. And this was first documented by a Harvard doctor named Herbert Benson. But the reality is that this meditation effect has actually been known in India for thousands of years. With repeated exposure to the relaxation response, you become more relaxed, less anxious, and experience deeper sleep as a result of your consistent meditation practice. You won't be triggered as easily by stressful moments at your job or at home, and you'll have more control of your emotions. You can approach the world and yourself with more kindness, more compassion, creativity, but you need to understand how to properly tap into the relaxation response. And once you do, you're going to find that many of your previous obstacles to meditation just dissolve away. Now, let's take a peek at the easy way to meditate and to tap into this relaxation response and get the desired benefits. So this is part 2 of the technique. This is the how, as I like to call it. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty of the easy approach, I want to dispel a common meditation myth, right? The busy mind myth. You know, the thinking that some people's minds, and I'm sure some of you guys have said this before to people, some people's minds are busier than others, and that your busy mind is what's preventing you from succeeding at meditation. How many people think their mind is very busy in the meditation? So, I want you to look at this polar bear. Okay. Look at the polar bear. Now, close your eyes, and I want you to continue thinking of the polar bear for a few moments. Go ahead, close your eyes. Think of the polar bear. Now, open your eyes. Okay. Now, guys, type into the chat box a yes if at any point during that short exercise you got distracted and you thought about something other than the polar bear while I told you to think about the polar bear. Did anybody get distracted? Yes, of course. Few people got distracted. There's always one person that says, no, I didn't get distracted. I thought about the polar bear the whole time. Thank you, Julia, for that. Okay, that's fine. Now, close your eyes again. And this time, I want you to let your mind roam free, right? You can think about anything you want to think about as long as it's not about a polar bear. Okay, so whatever you do with your eyes closed, do not think about a polar bear. It's very important. Okay, go. Okay, open your eyes. Now, type in the chat box, yes, if you accidentally thought about the white polar bear. Who accidentally thought about the white polar bear when you weren't supposed to be thinking about the white polar bear? Exactly. Getting a lot of yeses, laugh out loud yeses, a couple no's, but mostly yeses. So what this proves, guys, is that your mind is not busy. Your mind is normal. Your mind is normal. Okay? What we just did was an actual study that was conducted by another Harvard doctor who wanted to test if it was possible to suppress certain thoughts by trying not to think them. Except they sat for a full 5 minutes trying to focus on the white polar bear, and then another 5 minutes trying not to think about the white polar bear. And just like you, when they weren't supposed to be thinking about the white polar bear, they ended up thinking about it a lot. And some of them were bordering on obsession. So we only did that test for about 10 seconds. Imagine those of you who said no, imagine if you sat there for 5 minutes. Of course you would think about something other than the white polar bear, right? All they could think about in that actual study was the white polar bear when they weren't supposed to be thinking about it. And the conclusion from the study was twofold. Number one, if you try to focus on anything after about 5 or 6 seconds, your mind is going to naturally get diverted to another unrelated thought. Number two, if you try to suppress your thoughts, guess what will happen? You will end up creating more of those thoughts that you don't want to have. And guys, this is the reason why you may think that your mind is extraordinarily busy. It's not because it's busier than anyone else's mind. It's because people negate the natural tendency of their mind by trying to stop certain thoughts or by trying to focus on other thoughts. So what you're going to learn here is something that 80% of meditators get wrong on day one. Suppressing your thoughts in meditation is going to create a busier mind, and it ultimately does not lead to very positive experiences. And when you're sitting in a way that's physically uncomfortable, on top of resisting thoughts or attempting to focus your mind, you're just adding more elements of distraction, which can make meditation feel nearly impossible. So the basis of this easy technique is to stop treating your racing mind as the enemy of the meditation and instead start treating your mind like it's your noble ally, and understand that thinking is the nature of the mind. And what you'll find is that a wandering mind will actually lead to a settled mind. And this is actually backed by researchers. Research has concluded at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology that the styles of meditation, which is where meditators allow their minds to drift and to wander from one thought to the next thought without any kind of control, it causes the meditator to experience a very high degree of mental and emotional processing. And it causes the meditator to activate a rest network that can actually get your mind and your body into that state of deep rest, consistent with the relaxation response, which is known to be deeper than the rest that you would get while you were sleeping at night. How cool is that? Now, that's the why. Let's look at the how. All right. So this is where the easy approach comes in. This easy approach draws from the same principles researched in that Norwegian University of Science and Technology study, which happens to be the basis of the relaxation response, as I said. And these are the principles that I personally practiced and taught for years. So I know them very intimately, right? EASY is an acronym to help you easily remember each of those principles, okay? And I see some people have some questions. We'll get to your questions in a moment, okay? The E in EASY stands for embracing. Embracing the idea that thinking during meditation is normal, okay? In other words, you want to adopt the anti-focus approach towards your thoughts, just like I demonstrated. A stands for accept. Accept any and all thoughts in meditation, not just the positive ones. So you want to cultivate an attitude that whatever is happening in your meditation is what should be happening. And this includes happy thoughts, sad thoughts, negative thoughts, sleepiness thoughts, dreams, wandering, feeling antsy, right? No need to resist or reject any of those thoughts. S stands for surrender. Surrender your expectations. In other words, be willing at all times to surrender your idea of how you think meditation should be progressing. Instead, you want to practice allowing whatever thoughts or sensations, noises, or distractions are happening in the moment to be there. Okay? And that brings us to Y, which stands for yield. Yield to anything else we may be tempted to resist, such as nodding off. Right? As you'll see soon, yielding is a lot easier said than done. And if you've tried and failed at meditation, it's likely because you've been conditioned to do the exact opposite of the easy approach. Think about what we've been trained to believe it takes to be successful as, not just meditators, but really in any endeavor. Work hard. The harder you work, the more successful you're going to become. Control the outcome. The more you can control, the more you can ensure having a certain kind of result. Focus. You have to favor this particular experience, but then keep away from that experience. Diligence, right? All of these things, remembering important information. The bottom line is, when a simple practice like meditation becomes associated with hard work, it's naturally going to fall into the dreaded chore category, which means you're going to resist doing it until you absolutely have no choice, or unless you have a ton of discipline. And instead, we want the meditation to be in that beautiful rest category, right along with sleeping and taking naps. And we all know that everyone loves a good power nap after a long, demanding day. So getting meditation into this rest category is going to allow you to feel the benefits of meditation a lot easier. So whenever you catch yourself attempting to control your mind in meditation, just remember from this webinar to return to your easy approach and try as best as you can to yield to whatever else is happening in your experiences. Now, just to be clear, guys, I didn't invent this approach. Again, this is based on timeless principles that have been taught for a long time, and they're specifically tailored for busy, everyday people with busy minds to be able to meditate with ease and with joy. Does this make sense to you? Please let me know in the chat box. I'm going to go back over and see if I can answer some of these questions. Rebecca was saying, what if when you meditate, you have the opposite of a monkey mind, more like a bored mind? I find that sitting in meditation, I don't have enough thoughts. Okay, that's a problem you want to have, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. Tanya is saying, is repeating a mantra considered a form of suppressing thoughts? That's a different kind of, mantra is a different kind of thought. And so certain mantras are actually used to have different experiences within the meditation. So we'll address that a little bit later as well. I'm going to keep the webinar going again so I can adhere to the time limit that I've given myself. So let's move on to the next pillar, which is team. Okay. Team is another acronym. So statistically speaking, and this may or may not surprise you, but 97% of the people who begin a meditation practice do not continue their practice after the first few weeks. How many people can identify with that? Did you start something and then stop it a few times? I know I did in the very beginning of meditation. There are a few reasons why this happens, and it's usually not because of a lack of intellectual understanding of meditation. It's easy to pick up a basic understanding of meditation from a book or an app or an online workshop, but plain and simple, intellectual understanding is not enough, right? What we really need at the end of the day is behavioral change. So in this section, we're going to cover how to effortlessly integrate this practice into your life and the most important ingredient to long-term meditation success. So if you've tried meditation in the past and you've bounced around from approach to approach, or you gave up altogether, then this is usually the missing ingredient for long-term success. Okay? It's consistency to the same approach. As Bruce Lee once said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Guys, meditation is a practice-oriented practice, and being consistent with the same structured approach will yield all of the most legendary benefits that we look for in meditation: less stress, deeper rest, more happiness, more productivity, etc., etc., etc. How do we become more consistent, though? That is the question. So step one is to make your practice enjoyable, right? Following the easy approach, making yourself comfortable, right? Sitting literally in a physically comfortable way. But then there are two necessary components for consistency, right? So the team approach and what I call the exchange principle. Think of team, again, as the acronym for together, everyone achieves more. I know, corny, but it works. In other words, it takes a village to meditate with success. Many of you watching this might have tried meditation on your own, and then the problem is that we end up relying on our initial motivation and inspiration, but we don't have long-term accountability and support that a group can provide or a meditation buddy can provide. So motivation tends to trail off, but when you have discipline that is forged with the help of a group, then you can experience lasting change. Whenever taking on a new endeavor, it's important to surround ourselves with other people, right? Just like you going through the same challenges and wanting the same goals, they also have the same challenges and want the same goals. And so you guys can keep each other accountable. And there's really nothing more powerful than a group of supportive people around you who truly understand what you're doing, right? People who've got your back and who simply want to see you succeed. True friends are not just supporters and teammates, but they also offer us unsolicited advice, and they call us on our stuff, and they challenge us to be better. And that's what we can use when we're forging this meditation habit. Weight Watchers doesn't just give its members information, it surrounds them with a group of other people who are going through the exact same changes that they are going through. And that's what increases the chances of success for everybody. So, on top of practicing the easy approach, on top of sitting comfortably, you also want to find yourself a meditation buddy, or what I call an accountability buddy. Another corny word, but it works. So back when I was struggling to meditate, I had one friend who would always encourage me and always ask me, hey, have you meditated, and hold me accountable. And he would check in on me on a regular basis, and on some days I only meditated because this guy would check in on me. So in addition to getting accountability buddies, you can also join meditation meetups or retreats. They didn't have those back when I first started, but now they have a lot of these kinds of things. Sites like meetup.com obviously are very good, and they offer dozens of local groups where you can meet and engage with like-minded individuals to help support you. You can also find group meditations, online meditation communities, and Facebook. Insight Timer has a wonderful community. You can actually see who else is meditating around you. Open Sit. There's a app called MediMates, which organizes group meditations in your area. And as some of you know, I started an online community called the Shala, which is targeted to help people become a part of a meditation support community. People who read my book, people who've taken my online course, etc. If you're interested in something like that, I'll share more about that a little bit later. There's one reason, though, why 97% of the people who begin a meditation practice stop their practice after the first few weeks. It's because most people who try to learn to meditate do so without having any kind of skin in the game, right? They hop from one free trial to the free Oprah meditation challenge to the free YouTube video, etc., etc. And what happens is you never get invested enough to give meditation the kind of commitment that it needs and deserves to take hold and withstand the inevitable resistance of normal life. And that's what I mean by the exchange principle that I mentioned earlier, right? The exchange is a time-tested way to instantly increase your commitment and elevate your meditation experiences. And the premise is that if you ever hope to get something of value, like a fruitful meditation practice, at some level, you're going to have to give something of value in the name of your practice. And this concept of a meaningful exchange is the foundation of how we operate as a society, right? If we're being honest, we only value and appreciate the things that we pay for or invest in. And if we're honest again, we will quickly disregard or undervalue the things that come to us cheaply or freely. And I'm not just talking about a financial investment. I'm talking about investing your time, investing your effort, investing your attention. And think about it like this. How many wasted hours and days and months and years have gone into fixating on all the things that we could improve in our lives, but those improvements they don't really happen that often. Or if they do start to happen, we fall off quickly, right? It's usually not until we put something on the line, put some money or some other precious resources behind our good intentions, that we become focused and diligent in what we say that we want to change, right? What makes starting a lifelong meditation practice any exception? In fact, that's why I say all the time, the most expensive meditation are all the free meditations, because you inevitably end up wasting precious time and energy stopping and starting and stopping and starting and getting confused and never quite sure if you're giving the whole thing a proper try. Let's say you agree that you should exchange something of value in order to succeed at meditation. And I see some people putting in the comments, I pay for an app and all this kind of, and that's great. How do we do that? What's the easiest and quickest way to make an exchange? And I would say, let's say you started meditating on your own. You wanted to put something on the line in the name of your practice, right? Donate some money to a charity or to a worthy cause. Or if you just don't have any money to do anything like that, donate your time, volunteer, right? If you have a special skill set, you can donate professional services to a cause. Or you can engage yourself in a series of random acts of giving in the name of your practice. So whatever your exchange ends up being, it should be related to something you personally care about, and the exchange should ideally benefit other people as well. And this doesn't have to include something you were going to give away anyway, like donating cans of soup that have been sitting around for 2 years, or returning money you owed to a friend. Nice try. Or giving away clothes that you no longer wear to charity, or something you did last month or last year before you learned about the exchange principle, right? The exchange really starts now. It's intentional. And once you make your exchange, you're going to instantly feel more invested in your meditation practice, which is going to positively affect your overall commitment to your practice. So that wraps up the second pillar of the triangle. The key to success is consistency, and the key to consistency is to surround yourself with a team of accountability buddies and put some skin in the game by making a meaningful exchange. Now, let's look at the third and final pillar of the meditation mastery triangle, the teacher, right? This is perhaps the most obvious one, or you wouldn't be in this webinar, obviously. But when you try to teach yourself how to meditate, there's a high probability that you're going to make it harder than it actually needs to be. And at the end of the day, meditation, again, is like any other skill. You can pick up the basics from a book or an app or webinar, etc. But eventually, you're going to have a lot of questions. And without sufficient answers, there's a high potential that you're not going to stick with the practice, even if you have skin in the game, even if the technique is solid. Or you may just start using a bunch of guesswork that will result in your meditations feeling unnecessarily tedious over time, which is the meditation equivalent of driving with the emergency brake on because you forgot to take it off after being parked on a hill. Maybe you figure it out on your own. Maybe you don't. It's always harder without having access to someone with an intimate and fundamental understanding of the meditation terrain and the expertise in a structured meditation technique to help mentor you through the process and answer all of the inevitable questions that you will have as they arise. Let's return to this photo here. This is my buddy Otto, right? I met Otto in Chicago many years ago, and I talked about him in my book. When we met, he didn't sleep at night. So to try to fix his insomnia, he started exercising, he started using Ambien, Xanax, and as it turned out, Otto had also experimented off and on with a meditation book before he came to see me because he didn't get any results from the book that he tried. And he almost gave up on meditation completely. And then after taking my workshop, he sent me an email saying how he slept for 15 hours that next day, waking up to only feed his cat. Then he slept another 15 hours, and eventually he slept 3 days in a row. And he said that that summer that he learned how to meditate was his favorite because he slept through most of it. And he's been sleeping ever since. And the difference in his experience before was that he didn't have a teacher. He didn't have someone like me to help to show him what he didn't already know. He only had a book. And when he had me to help him troubleshoot his experiences, he finally broke through his lifelong struggle with insomnia. So while having the correct approach is definitely a great thing and really the bedrock of a successful meditation practice, is having someone who can teach you that approach, right? Getting proper guidance and support so you can become self-sufficient. And this is why team and teacher are the foundation of the meditation mastery triangle. So let's just review the triangle again, right? We learned that in order to get the proven benefits of meditation, you want to tap into the relaxation response. And I showed you how to meditate in the easy way, where you must be comfortable, where you can actually embrace your thoughts and still experience the de-stressing effect. In the second pillar, we talked about the missing ingredient for long-term meditation success being consistency to the same structured approach, not hopping around different approaches like the yoga teachers advise people to do. Just do what you feel. That doesn't really work as well. We learned that the reason why 97% of meditators abandon their practice is because they don't have enough accountability, there's no team, and that they don't have enough skin in the game usually to back up their great intentions. And finally, there's the importance of the teacher. We learned that picking up a meditation practice is a lot like picking up any skill, in that you'll pick up the basics on your own, but eventually you will have questions. And it's vital that you have a credible source to get answers, or you risk relying on shoddy guesswork that can make your practice feel unnecessarily clunky. So altogether, these three pillars make up the meditation mastery triangle. And I would argue that in order to get the most out of meditation, you want to have all three of these pillars in place, not just one, not just two, but all three. So I hope you got a lot of value out of this information that I'm sharing with you today. I've been living and breathing this stuff for many years, and I can't understate how much implementing these principles will change your meditation practice forever. And my aim is not just to tell you what to do, but also to help you do it in a way that makes the meditation feel easy and accessible, right? The principles we covered today are the tip of the bigger iceberg, as there is nothing arbitrary about meditation. And if you like what I shared with you so far, then I want to share something else with you that I think you're really going to enjoy, so that you can take what you've learned a little bit further than our little brief encounter today. So I want to show you how I can help you from here, right? I want to introduce you to my step-by-step meditation integration program called the Meditation Mastery Experience. And this is the first online meditation program designed by an actual meditation teacher, specifically to help regular people like you forge a solid, easy-to-do meditation practice. Now, this is a big deal because, again, there's not a lot of meditation offerings that are created by people who are out there teaching regular people how to meditate on a day-to-day basis. There are people who teach monks how to meditate, offering things, and there are people who write self-help books teaching people, but they never offering things, but they never actually teach people how to meditate in person. So this is a unique offering, and this offering is broken down into the main components for success that we covered. Basically, all of the different pillars of the triangle. So the first component is the Comprehensive Meditation Made Easy training, which is the meditation course that I created, and I based off of those timeless principles. And it's the same technique that I incorporated in Bliss More, my book, right? And the best part is that you can stream this course, which is a video course, directly to your device, and you can take the course at your own pace. So I've condensed my 20 plus years of meditation experience and training into 4 comprehensive video lessons that are about 20 minutes each. And it's specifically designed for everyday people like you and me with busy lives and busy minds. And after just 4 short days, because the different lessons are time delayed, so you can only watch one per day because it gives you time to practice, all right, you're going to have to do your homework. And this is something you're probably going to be looking forward to doing. And you're going to get instructions from me. You're going to watch me demonstrate all the different components of the meditation. So we take all the guesswork out. And this is a little bit different from reading the book as well. So even if you read the book, you're going to get a lot more from actually seeing me and watching me give you instructions on this technique. And if you finally want to build a consistent and rewarding practice without relying on apps or meditation or shoddy guesswork, then this is the offering for doing less in meditation and accomplishing more in life. If you want to routinely tap into the real life benefits of meditation, like less stress, less anxiety, better sleep, more productivity, more clarity, and an overall feeling of bliss, then this is specifically for you. If that's something that you like to participate in, okay, here's how we'll do it. The Meditation Made Easy course, again, is broken down into 4 video lessons. So lesson 1, I'll take you through a full deep dive into the easy approach and how you can use it to finally let go of the guesswork and build a self-sufficient practice. So you're going to learn how you can optimize all of your experiences in the meditation. In lesson 2, you'll discover how to effectively transcend your monkey mind with meditation and more. Then we'll continue to lesson number 3, where you're going to discover the nature of the body and the physiology behind meditation. So we'll go over the symptoms of stress release, how to rewire your body's unhealthy reactions, and all about the adaptation response where meditation's real-world benefits show up. And we'll meditate together. And then finally, there's lesson number 4, where we're going to cover how to successfully integrate meditation into your busy life. We'll go over topics like how to measure your success in meditation and the real difference between seasoned and amateur meditators. We'll reveal all of the classic consistency killers and how to position yourself to find the time to meditate, even if you have a hectic life. And then we'll even meditate together. So again, this is one of the most comprehensive meditation courses that you will find online. Let's see here. There we go. Just had a little hiccup. All right. And this will no doubt allow you to forge a transformational daily practice into your life. For example, this is what the volleyball player Gabby Reese had to say, who is a dear friend of mine. And here's what Rosario Dawson has to say, who's also one of my students. Light's approach to meditation is both simple and profound. This is Deepak Chopra, what he had to say. And you're going to learn the same principles that have empowered thousands of others to achieve meditation success. So starting today, their success can be your success when you implement the Meditation Made Easy course as a part of the Meditation Mastery experience. When I conduct my live courses and retreats, the participants sometimes pay a good amount of money to attend. Sometimes it's thousands of dollars even. But I want to do something kind of unconventional here. As I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, one of my biggest thrills is showing people how to use meditation to change your life and the importance of making a meaningful exchange. But as I also said, there are many creative ways to invest, okay? So if you're willing to make an exchange to invest in yourself today, I, in turn, am going to invest in you. And there are a couple of ways that I am going to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is dramatically reduce the barrier of entry for anyone who wants to be a part of this experience, okay? Because facilitating an online meditation program allows me to help more people with less resources, I see it as an opportunity to democratize these timeless meditation principles by making them available to many more people than I could ever teach in person, right? Here's what I mean. If you are willing to make an exchange to invest in yourself in the next 24 hours, in return, I will invest in you by allowing you to put down only $297 to buy in to be a part of this experience, okay? All you do is go to readytomeditate.com and you enroll in the next 24 hours, okay? Now you may be wondering, why am I calling this a buy-in to the experience? The first reason is because my ultimate goal is to genuinely help you become a successful daily meditator. And I believe that $297 is a chunky enough investment for you to satisfy the important exchange principle, right? So you have enough skin in the game to commit yourself to doing what I'm going to recommend that you do to forge a successful meditation practice. But there's another reason why I call it a buy-in. Believe it or not, my goal here is not to sell you a meditation training. My ultimate goal is to help turn you into a successful meditator as previously outlined. And it's to help you create a new and useful outlet for stress release so you have more rest, more energy, more clarity, creativity, etc. So you're a better version of yourself tomorrow than you were today. And while I'm going to be taking you by the hand and showing you exactly how it's done in the mastery experience, in order for us to reach that goal, you must be willing to go the extra mile. And that's what's going to make this commitment different from all the rest. So I'm going to offer you something that's quite unconventional. And that is the opportunity to take my 21-day Kickstart Meditation Challenge. And when you complete the challenge, I'm going to give you back half of your investment just for completing the course. I'm going to give you back $150 of the $297. No catch, no strings, no small print, right? That's how much I want you to succeed in the meditation. Okay. Once you make your exchange, here's exactly how the challenge is going to work. And that is the opportunity to take my 21-day challenge. Yep, sorry, got a little bit ahead of myself. Okay, here's how the challenge works. You're going to start by watching 4 20-minute videos of the online Meditation Made Easy course, like we talked about. After that, all I ask is that you keep a meditation log of your choice. Show you the log. You can use an app, you can use a calendar, you can use a sheet of paper, you can do a seated, eyes closed 20-minute meditation every day for 21 days as instructed, and you mark it on your log, and that's it. After your last day, you send me an email with a photo or screenshot of your meditation log, and I will immediately refund back to you half of your exchange. So the only thing I ask is that you complete the initial training within 30 days in order to be eligible for the refund. And again, everything will be extremely doable. So in our last group, we had over 80% of the participants complete the 21-day challenge and get refunds. An 80% success rate, guys, is unheard of, right? Again, the norm is around 3-5%, maybe 7% if you're lucky. So these are screenshots of the completed logs, right? And again, here's what one person said about the Kickstart. This course and challenge have helped me do that. I feel much more relaxed, less anxiety, physical stress. This is after 21 days, okay? So head on over to Ready to Meditate right now and make your $297 temporary exchange within the next 24 hours. And simply complete the course log for your 21 days of meditation, and I'll happily send you over half your money back as a reward for taking action. The other option to work with me is, it's possible. You can come to one of my retreats. You can take one of my live courses. Again, it's a lot more expensive. I will support you, though, in that situation as well. But to be honest, most people can't afford it. And there's no reason why you shouldn't have access to these principles, right? So why am I doing this? What's the catch? I'm really just excited to see how far people can go with meditation. And I'm tired of hearing people say how hard meditation is, because I know a lot of that frustration stems from being taught by people who don't know how to help people enjoy meditation and receive no support afterwards. And I'm not looking for everyone to join this experience. I'm looking for people who are early adopters and people who are tired of feeling like meditation doesn't work. And really for those people who are up for a fun and unconventional experience. Again, this offer is only for 24 hours. So after that, I'll take it down, and that way I can work closely with those of you who do take action today. And just, again, know that you're not going to get a refund if you miss one of those days of the 21 days. So that's part of the deal. So maybe having to pay for it is what's going to eventually make meditation stick this time. But I know I can help you become our next success story. And more importantly, I can show you how to build this practice in your life. This is an investment in a long-term relationship, both with meditation as well as with me as your guide. And then secondly, I want you to be a part of this greater meditation movement, right? I mean, don't you agree that the world would be a better place if more people meditated? And because we said 97% of people who begin a meditation practice do not continue their practice after the first few weeks, right? I've watched it happen thousands of times. Most of the people I teach are coming from that experience, and I don't want you to be another statistic. I want you to be better than the average. So you have 24 hours to take this next step. And just for being decisive, I want to give you a couple of more incentives, right? The Meditation Made Easy course is just one component of the experience. When you join in the next 24 hours, I'm also going to give to you 6 months of free access to my private online meditation support community called the Shala that I mentioned earlier, and access to my beginmeditating.com membership site. The Shala is broken up into 2 parts. The first part of the Shala is you surround yourself with other people who have done the video course, who've read the book, maybe some people who've even taken my live training, and you can learn from them and they can learn from you, and together everyone can connect the dots in their practice And you'll also be a part of an intimate group of people who know how to overcome some of those similar challenges that a lot of you guys are facing now in your meditation practice. But best of all, you have an easy way to recruit an accountability partner, and you have access to me because I go into the shala and I support people and answer questions all the time. Remember, it takes a village to succeed at meditation, at least in the early days of your practice. And that's what's going to make this time different from the last time you tried to meditate. And all the rest of the times, you'll have a team to support you. Now, that's just the first component of the Shala community. The second component is instant access to my exclusive vault of meditation tutorials and other resources inside of our private membership portal. These short tutorials take a deeper dive into specific meditation pain points that could and probably will arise in your practice. So if you're having trouble with, say, managing your racing mind or anxiety, then all you have to do is hop over to that tutorial and you'll discover the best practices for solving that challenge. Currently, many tutorials include how to manage the monkey mind, simple steps to prevent anxiety from running your life, the secrets to meditating more consistently. I just did one on relationships, and there's a lot more uploaded every month. The best part is that I update these tutorials routinely based on your feedback and questions. So if there's something that you want me to talk about, then I'll do a tutorial based on that. And you get unlimited access to the Shala community and video archive, which is usually priced at about $40 a month. But you're going to get free access for 6 months by enrolling in this at readytomeditate.com in the next 24 hours. So again, full access, members only, meditation support community. So you have the team, you have the technique, and you have the teacher pillars covered. And you also get private vault of access to the private vault of wellness tutorials, etc. And all you have to do is just buy in at $297, which you're going to get half back after you complete the 21-day meditation kickstart, which 80% of the people who did it last time, they completed no problem. It's not something that's going to be hard or challenging. If you read any of my stuff, my goal is to make meditation feel super easy. And the additional gift is that you get 6 months of free membership to the Shala. So I'm giving you direct access to me for your meditation questions. And of course, this covers all those pillars of the meditation triangle. So as part of the Shala, you'll be invited to my live monthly coaching calls where you can ask me anything. So I saw some of you guys, you were chiming in from Ireland and from South Africa and Tijuana. So you will have an opportunity to hop on a live call with me, and you can literally ask me whatever questions that you have. We do this once a month with the whole Shala community. And this is another great thing that you can, it's not just you're emailing me a question or you're writing a Facebook comment, with your question, you're actually asking me directly what your question is. So if you hit a barrier that you don't know how to overcome, I can mentor you through that challenge. And if you get stuck, then I can get you unstuck and help you improve your practice. Again, this is about letting go of guesswork when it comes to meditation and getting all of your questions answered. And so this is included in the 6 months of free Shala membership. When I first started off, I didn't have anybody to do this with. All right. I just had some books. I had some monks that I met at some different ashrams, and I was on the verge of giving up multiple times. And a community and access to a teacher would have saved me so much frustration and confusion. So this is truly a differentiator between any other programs you will find online, apps and books and trainings. I mean, Deepak is not going to answer your direct questions on the 21-day challenge that he does with Oprah. There's no personal interaction usually. So I'm offering this to my community because I know what it takes, having taught a lot of people how to do these kinds of practices. I know that it's not that you should have interaction with a teacher. You need to have that interaction if you really want to understand and master this process. One more thing. When you enroll in the next 24 hours, you're also going to get special discounts to my live events. If you ever end up taking one of my retreats, I'll give you a discount to that. You get discounts to workshops. If you take a personal course with me in LA or New York or London where I teach, you'll get a discount to that. If you've been following my work for a while and you've seen I've been on retreats all over the world, it's beautiful. We spend 7 days together. It's a really wonderful experience. So all of these extras can easily be valued in the hundreds of dollars, maybe even the thousands of dollars, but you're going to get them all for free just for being a part of that Shala community. So I want to set you guys up for success. I'm going to recap one more time. You get the Comprehensive Meditation Made Easy video course. You get 6 months of free membership trial with the Shala online community, which means full access to a private members only meditation support. You get invitations to my live coaching calls, Ask Me Anything sessions, instant access to my exclusive vault of meditation and wellness tutorials inside of your private membership portal. Plus, you get discounts to my live events, workshops, etc., and international retreats. And you do all of this by enrolling within the next 24 hours at readytomeditate.com. Now, in the interest of full transparency, I believe in winning with honesty. I always have. And I'm tired of the internet marketers promising gimmicks and quick fixes and pushing offers that misrepresent how long the benefits really take to be realized. So with that said, I want to restate that these gifts are all a part of the online support community, and you get 6 free months as a part of this experience, okay? After your 6-month trial, if you choose that you love the library of tutorials and access to me and live feedback and connecting with other meditators from around the world, you're going to have an option to stay a part of that community at $29 a month. This is after the 6 months are over, right? If you don't see any need for it, though, you can cancel at any time. No one's going to force you to stay a part of that, right? Just remember, all you have to do is take the 4-day video course, which is a time investment of about 20 minutes per day, and complete the 21-day challenge. And if you're committed to logging just 21 days of meditation using the same technique that has empowered thousands of people, then I'm committed to giving you half of your initial exchange back as a reward for your commitment. And to make this better, I'm also going to be here to answer any questions that you have in the Shala community. So you're gonna be able to join that Shala community right away. And I'm always hopping in and doing live Q&As, etc. So for those of you who've already read the book, you just have to take the video course. If you've taken the video course, you'll read the book, etc. And that way everybody's going to be on the same page. So I know that I'm going to uphold my end of the deal. And I'm also happy to offer you an unconditional 7-day guarantee, which means that you have 7 risk-free days to try everything out and see if it works for you without losing anything. So even if you put money in, give it right back to you after 7 days. And if you're not completely confident that you can do it after 7 days, you missed a couple meditations, whatever, you just contact us at support@beginmeditating.com and we'll give you a full refund, no problemo. So not only are you backed by the 21-day meditation kickstart where you get half your money back, but you're also backed by my 7-day try it out guarantee, which means you literally have nothing to lose, everything to gain, and you can check it out for 7 full days, and you can change your mind if you decide that you don't want to be a part of this whole meditation thing, and I'll give you your exchange back, no problem, okay? So you just have to go to readytomeditate.com, open up your favorite browser right now, Chrome, Safari, whatever, type in readytomeditate.com, and then make a note of the big countdown timer at the top of the page, okay? You have until that timer hits 0 to take advantage of this offer. So it's important to act sooner rather than later, right now if possible. and you'll see an add to cart button on the page. Click it. It's going to load up the acceptance form for you, where you just put in your basic information, your credit card information. Next, click on submit. And once your deposit is processed, you're going to immediately be sent a receipt and login details for your members portal. Okay. Then you log into your portal. You can start watching the video lessons right away. So this course is only going to take about 4 days, as I said. You just want to block out about 20 to 30 minutes per day. And then you're going to join the online Facebook community. This is where you're going to find your teammates, so to speak. And you're going to be able to ask me any questions that you have about your meditation. Then you can start the 21-day kickstart. And there are going to be instructions for how to do that in one of your first welcome emails. After the 21 days, all you're going to do is submit a picture of your finished log, and I'll promptly give you back half of your exchange. And the rest of your exchange will be applied to all the other incentives, such as the 6 months of the Shala membership. And I think you'll agree that I've covered some really valuable tips on creating a consistent meditation practice. You may be a little overwhelmed with it all. I don't know, but that's completely understandable. If you're still on the fence, now is the time to just open up a new browser window, go to readytomeditate.com, and just get started. You have 7 days. There's no risk. You can get all of your money back after 7 days, so you can at least just try it out. But the only way to really know is just to get started. And so just go to readytomeditate.com. All this really means is that you have a couple decisions. First decision is the easiest. Do nothing. Right? You don't have to invest in any of this. You can settle for whatever you have now, which is honestly enough to get started. But again, you're going to be lacking in the quality of support and community. Your second choice is to just go for it. Right? If it doesn't work, if it's not everything I've described, then just email me and I'm happy to give you your money back. But if it does work, then that's even better. Because not only will you have built a rewarding meditation practice, but you can still get all of your money back at the end when you complete the Kickstart Challenge. Either way, you're going to have an opportunity to invest in yourself. You'll make meditation a priority, and your life will be better off as a result. So you can do nothing, or you can get the better path for living a more centered and connected and purpose-driven life. So guys, questions. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm going to share my camera with you. I'm here. What questions do you have about any of this? Please ask your questions. I'm just rolling in here. Jacqueline, yep, New Year. So yeah, the New Year's coming up. We ideally don't want to wait until January 1st to start all of this. You want to start your meditation and have it going by the time New Year comes, right? It's because what meditation is going to do is it's going to provide you with a layer of clarity. You know, when you're sitting there thinking about what am I going to bring into my life, what are my resolutions going to be, you can come from that clearer space of having that freshly meditated mind. Will I be using the new personalized mantra with Ready to Meditate? No, you will not be using your personalized mantra with Ready to Meditate. Tanya, you have taken the Vedic meditation training, so that's actually a tier above the online training. So what you can do is you can just do the 21-day kickstart with your current technique that you've already been trained in, and that way you can get the ongoing support online with everybody else. But you don't have to use the I call it a settling sound in the book and mantra on the video course. You don't have to use that. You can use the one you got from your teacher. Let's see what else we have here. Is it once a day for 21 days? Yeah, just once a day. 20 minutes once a day for 21 days. And again, part of the training is teaching you how to incorporate the meditation into your day. I like to offer bodywork or personal training in exchange for this course. Instead of paying money, I'm based in LA. Let me know if you are interested. I am absolutely interested. The problem is I'm not in LA anymore. I moved out of LA. I'm now traveling around the world, and I won't be in LA for very long. In the near future, I'm gonna be there for a few days next month, January. And then I'm going to be off again traveling. So it's not like the old days where I used to live there full time. Let's see. Your timing, it's Christmas and traveling. Yeah, it doesn't, the thing with that is you can stream all of this from your device. So what better time to meditate than the holidays, right? All you do is you take 20 minutes to listen to the video, you practice it. And this whole thing is meant to be portable. You can do it on the road. You can do it on the go. You can do it on airplanes, airports, and cars. You don't need an altar. I've been meditating for 20 years. I never had a meditation altar, right? You learn how to meditate anywhere where you can sit and close your eyes. What else do we have question-wise? Okay, any other questions? I've come to the end of my time here. And Mike is asking, when using a settling sound, is it a thought or physical sound? It's a thought. It's a thought. Yeah, so a part of the questions around the settling sounds will get cleared up in the video course. I don't understand the question, Nancy. Can I get a discount for Vedic meditation with one of your substitutes? What do you mean my substitute? What? Look, any Vedic meditation questions you guys have, you can email me directly, light@beginmeditating.com, and you can ask me your questions about Vedic meditation. This is not a Vedic meditation offering, though. This is meditation made easy, which is based on the principles of Vedic meditation. So I just want to be clear about that to not confuse the two. Okay. So again, head over to readytomeditate.com if you want to be a part of this experience within the next 24 hours. And you have 7 days to try it out for free. If you don't like it, if you feel like I've misrepresented anything, you can email us and I'll give you all of your money back. And once you complete the 21 days, not only will you have a new relationship with meditation, but you'll get half your money back. The rest of it will go to the support, which is essential for continuing on beyond, 3-4 weeks, a couple months, where people normally drop off in the meditation. So thank you guys again for tuning in, for watching. I believe that this webinar may be available to replay at some point in the future. I'll check with my technical team. But yeah, thanks so much. And whatever happens, whether you join or not, please take this information that I shared with you today and use it in your daily meditation practice. All right. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. And namaste.